Because of the type of content that I make, I'm in a fortunate position to where I get to tap into the core of the YouTuber community. And with that comes all of the problems that we have as content creators, because I see all of the comments and all of the requests people are making in the comments. I get DMs from other content creators talking about the problems they have. I have a forum on my live streams that I do every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern, where you put your questions about the problems that you are having so that I can answer them live during the live stream. In addition to that, I also have my podcast where people can email me the questions about the problems or questions that they have about their YouTube channel. So it keeps me pretty informed with what's going on and all the problems that content creators have. And to be honest with you, it's all the stuff that I've also went through myself and things that I currently go through as well. But with all of the questions that I get, people are asking the wrong questions. What I'm getting ready to share with you in this video might just revolutionize the way that you approach your YouTube channel. And we're starting right now. This video is brought to you by Placeit. Placeit has easy to edit YouTube intros, channel banners, end screens, and more for YouTubers. And the best part is you don't have to have any additional software to use Placeit. You do everything directly in your browser. And because of their professionally designed templates, you don't have to have any design skills to make pro quality designs for your YouTube channel. Check this out. Using Placeit is as easy as selecting the template you want to use, editing the text to fit your needs, adjusting the colors to match your channel, and then saving your finished file to your computer. You can even upload images to really make your designs pop. To try Placeit for yourself and save 15% off of your Placeit account, use the link in the description of this video. Okay, so like I said before, your channel might not be doing well, not because you're necessarily doing something wrong, but because you're asking the wrong questions. For example, how do I get more subscribers on my YouTube channel? How many times have you had it go through your brain, how do I get more subscribers? How do I get more people to subscribe to my YouTube channel? How do I make my channel blow up? How do I just have more people come in and participate in what it is that I'm doing? Well, in addition to the other questions I'm going to be talking about, with this specific one, instead of asking, how do I get more subscribers on my YouTube channel? I want you to start reframing the way that you're thinking about getting subscribers on your YouTube channel. When it comes to you getting subscribers on your YouTube channel, it's not necessarily about you. And here's what I mean. Instead of thinking, how do I get subscribers, think, why should someone else who watches my video subscribe to my YouTube channel? What is it? What is it that you're doing with your content that somebody should subscribe for? Can you honestly look at your content and say, okay, this is exactly why people should subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is exactly what it is that I'm doing on my channel that should cause somebody to subscribe. And I'm not talking about calls to action or how often you upload or anything like that. What I'm talking about at a deeper level is value. So what you need to be thinking is, when somebody watches my YouTube video, what value is it that they get out of my videos? Why should they want to come back to what it is that I'm doing on YouTube? Why should they want to watch more of my content? Why should they subscribe so that they can come back and watch more? Define it. And part of the process of defining it is thinking to yourself, how can I add more to the people that are watching my content? How can I add more value to them? If I'm a gamer and I'm playing a game and people are coming in and participating in my game, why should they care? Why should they subscribe to my YouTube channel from just watching me play a game? What is it that I'm doing? Am I really entertaining? Am I as entertaining as I think that I am? That's why help content is such a powerful thing on YouTube, because immediately when you're showing people how to do things, they are getting value from what it is that you're doing right out of the gate. Don't get me wrong. That does not mean that you have to do how-to content in order to add value to people. What I'm saying is that you just need to be able to define the value that you provide through the content that you're putting onto YouTube. And as soon as you can define that, and as soon as you can take it to a deeper level and say, how can I just keep adding more and more and more to the people that are coming in and watching my videos? If it's entertainment content, let's say that you're making people laugh, like, how can I be funnier? Maybe I need to study comedy a little bit more. Maybe I need to, really start fine-tuning my skill set of telling jokes and my timing and all of that good stuff so that I can make sure that I'm really going over the top in terms of making people laugh so that they can get that particular value out of me and that I consistently give it to them in a massive way. The next question that I always get asked, and I guarantee you somebody that didn't make it this far in the video is going to ask this in the comments of this video, because they were just in too much of a hurry to actually learn what it is that they're trying to learn. But anyway, when it comes to getting views on your YouTube channel, instead of thinking, how do I get more views? Think, how are people going to find my content? What discovery mechanisms do I have in place on my YouTube channel in order to make it possible for people to find my YouTube content. For example, we all know that writing good titles and that making good thumbnails for YouTube is an extremely important thing to do if you want people to click on what it is that you're doing. But a lot of people are thinking of that the wrong way. What they're thinking is, I need to make a really pretty thumbnail. I need to make it graphically pleasing. I need to make it beautiful. I need to make sure that I'm adding these certain colors to it because people say that you should add these colors to it. But a pretty thumbnail isn't what makes people click on YouTube videos. What makes people click on YouTube videos is there's something intriguing about how your thumbnail and title work together that makes those people want to click on what it is that you just published or that you published a long time ago. But when it comes to getting people to click on what it is that you're doing, just like being able to define the value that you're bringing to your viewers, you also have to be able to define, why should somebody click on this title? Why should somebody click on this thumbnail when it's presented to them on YouTube? Is it just because I made it? Or is it something to where it clearly expresses what it is that they're gonna get on the video? Did I title it in a way that makes it crystal clear the value that they're gonna get out of the video if they do decide to click on it? Long term, you're gonna get more viewers on YouTube than anywhere else that you're gonna share your content. So because of that, you have to be able to define why people should click on what it is that you're doing. When you're writing your titles, when you're making your thumbnails, sit back and look at them and think to yourself, okay, why should somebody click on this? Why is this interesting to somebody? Why would it be intriguing or compelling enough for somebody to want to click on it? If you can't define it, don't publish the video until you define it. Sit there and just workshop it. If it takes you an extra, hour to work through titles, or if it takes you an extra 3 hours to make a thumbnail to where you can clearly define, oh yeah, people are gonna love this once they see this particular thing in the thumbnail, or I'm focusing all the attention on the right thing that somebody's gonna care about when they actually get this video presented to them on a homepage or next to another video. If you can define that thing, you're going to drastically increase your chances of people clicking on your content. And then of course, if we revert back to that first question in terms of how can I add more value to the people that are watching my content, then you're able to get people to click and you're able to define why, and you're able to define the specific value out of what it is that you're doing and why it is that they should care and the value that they're getting out of your content, which means that your ability to keep them involved with your videos is also going to be higher. Which brings me to the next question of, how do I get more watch time on my videos so I can get monetized? The easy way to get more watch time on YouTube is to make it easy for people to find more of your content, and in addition to that, to have people coming back to your channel. So just like the other two examples that I talked about, instead of thinking, how do I get more watch time? You need to be thinking, why should somebody watch my video for a longer period of time? Why should they come back to my channel? Why? But Nick, the reason that they should come back and watch is because I make good videos. Thinking you make good videos is not enough of a reason for people to keep coming back and watching. Again, you need to define why it is that people should watch your videos longer, why they should come back to your channel, why they should watch that next video that you're recommending to them as well, why the content that you're making easy for them to find, why they should click on that stuff and watch that as well. You have to be able to define it. Part of defining it is actually learning how to use an awesome tool that YouTube gives us for free called the Audience Retention Report that shows us literally second by second how the masses are responding to what it is that we're doing, so that we can make good decisions and that we can make it more clear why people should continue watching our videos, because we fine tune them over time in order to make sure that what it is that we're putting out is something that people will respond to, but at a higher level, not just respond to, but something that people will enjoy. And the more that you analyze your audience retention reports, the easier it's going to be to identify exactly why it is that people should watch longer, because you are using that information to make better videos, which then creates a better experience for your viewers so that they're getting the specific value that we talked about before out of your content, so that they'll want to keep coming back and watching more of your videos, so that they'll want to click into your channel page and go and look at all the other videos that you have, so they'll want to click on your pinned comment or the next video that you recommend in your end screen. Define it. The next question that you'll see all over the internet, anywhere that you go that YouTubers hang out, you're going to see the big question: should I focus on quality or quantity when it comes to YouTube? Again, it's the wrong question. The right question is, how long do I plan on uploading videos to YouTube? Is this something that I want to be sustainable over a long period of time? When you start answering those questions, it's going to lead you down the path on quantity or quality, because typically what happens is if you plan for the long game, then you're probably not going to be publishing every single day or multiple times per day, because you know that, hey, I'm going to be doing this for a long time and I don't want to just completely drive myself crazy with the content that I'm making because I'm putting out so much all the time and I'm not doing anything else. So because of that, I'm going to pace myself so that I can make sure that it's sustainable. And as a heads up, if you plan to do this for an extended period of time, I really recommend that you do pace yourself, because, you know, it's a lot of work putting out all these videos. So I really do recommend that you pace yourself and that you focus on making sure that you're focused on the other things that we've been talking about in terms of, you know, value and sustainability and that sort of thing. Because if not, you can find yourself sometimes in a really bad position in terms of how your mind starts working when you start burning out when it comes to publishing content all the time. And another part of that question on quality or quantity is, am I enjoying what it is that I'm doing? Because if I'm not enjoying what it is that I'm doing when I'm putting out all these videos, then why do I want to just keep crushing out videos all the time? But if you've, you know, done something to where you're like, you know, hey, this is cool, I'm having a great time, but it's not something I want to do all the time, then, you know, pace yourself again so that you can do it in a sustainable way and so that you can get more joy out of it. Because part of this whole thing being a marathon is that it's something that we enjoy. Being a content creator, making content, connecting with your community and building communities and all that stuff, it's things that we enjoy. That's why we start doing it in the first place. So because of that, you know, it's important to make sure that you are giving yourself a little bit of an edge by making sure that what you're doing is sustainable. Another question that you'll also see all over the internet on YouTube communities is, how do I make better thumbnails? Instead of asking, how do I make better thumbnails? First, think, what do I know about design? What do I know about imagery? What do I know about grabbing someone's attention with an image? What do I know about how colors work together? And don't get me wrong, I don't want any of this stuff to come across the wrong way, because we all have things that we are learning along this process, and we don't know sometimes the right question to ask until we do know the right question to ask. So I'm just trying to use this as an opportunity to help give you some perspective on, you know, what it is that you're doing, because I think a lot of people are really focused on the wrong things. But anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way, so let's continue. But when it comes to your thumbnails, you know, think, how many design videos have I watched, right? I'm watching these videos on how to grow on YouTube, but how many videos am I watching on design so that I can really make good thumbnails? How many videos am I watching on psychology so that I can start, you know, really start getting into how brains work in terms of, you know, not at like a neuroscience level or anything like that, but just from like you know, just to get some insights on how people respond to certain things like calls to action, for example. Another thing that you got to be asking yourself if you are trying to figure out, hey, how do I make better thumbnails, is, am I A/B testing my thumbnails? Am I actually testing my thumbnails so that I can start defining what it is that my audience responds to? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then you need to start testing your thumbnails. But again, you got to start asking the right questions to make sure that you can provide the right path for yourself in order to get the success that you're after. And if you need something to help you test thumbnails, you can use TubeBuddy for that. I have a link to it down in the description below. So this next one I get asked in my live streams a lot, because there's a lot of people, not everybody, you know, there's plenty of people, you might be one of them, that are on YouTube because you are doing this as a hobby, because you're just doing it as a way to connect with other people that love what you love. Now, there's also the other people that are like, hey, I want to do this as a thing, right? I want to be like a YouTuber. I want to do the whole full-time YouTube thing. And they're asking, hey, how do I go full-time on YouTube? What is it that I have to do? Which is a good question, because in that situation, what is it that I have to do is a really, really good question. Because when in that situation, what you got to think about is you have to think about, okay, how the questions that you need to ask are, how am I currently monetizing what it is that I'm doing? How many streams of possible income am I creating now, as, let's say, if you're just getting started? You know, if I look into the future, what can I think of that I could possibly do to monetize what it is that I'm doing in a bunch of different ways? And another part of that is also looking at your competitors and being like, hey, the question, how are my competitors monetizing what it is that they're doing? Because in order to go full-time on YouTube, you need to make sure that you're implementing some monetization ideas as fast as you possibly can, because yes, absolutely, you can crush it in ad revenue if you're getting crushed with views. But most creators don't get crushed with views. So because of that, you have to think of all of the different things that you could possibly ever do with your YouTube channel in order to be able to generate a full-time income for yourself so that you can do it all the time. For example, in my situation, I have 8 different ways that I monetize right now, and I've actually taken a step down. It was more, but I have 8 different ways that I monetize right now. And within those 8 different ways, there's a bunch of additional things, or a bunch of different stems off of those 8 different things that I monetize from as well. So that's how I'm able to do this stuff all the time. So if you are somebody that wants to go full time, you just have to start thinking from that point of view in terms of, what is it that I'm going to do in order to be able to monetize, and how fast can I actually implement some of this stuff so that I can start having the videos that I'm making now working for me from now all the way into the future as my channel continues to grow, because it can create a snowball effect of sorts with your income, just like a snowball effect happens when you're actually growing your channel as well. But the questions that you're asking and the way that you're thinking about this stuff can make a really big difference on the results that you're actually getting here, because it prompts you to take the right course of action in order to do what it is that you're actually wanting to do with your content. To see more detailed information about all of the things that I've been talking about here in terms of the questions that are being asked, I have a series that I'm working through that you can click into right here that answers a lot of the questions that I've actually been talking about here in detail. So you can click into that now. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.